Last time out for F1 Academy in Miami saw the rain falling just as the second race of the weekend was about to get underway. The safety car led the field around, but people were making mistakes. It was very, very challenging out there, and the rain did not improve. It got heavier and heavier, and as all of the cars were just trying to stay on the track, it wasn't that easy to do so, and there was no real chance to go racing. It was a tough one for all of the drivers. They were out there for a while, but Chloe Chambers was the big loser in a way, but she's got a chance to get it back today. We are now all set for the build-up to the first ever F1 Academy race in Canada. The Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Ile Notre Dame in St. Lawrence River beside Montreal, hosting 3 races of F1 Academy this weekend, and it's 30 years since Jean Alesi won a Grand Prix here on his birthday. There's every chance that Chloe Chambers could win an F1 Academy race on what is her 21st birthday. So lots to look forward to. It is a challenging track though. Very easy to make mistakes, very easy to hit the curbs too hard or run into the barriers. So we shall see how it all goes. My name's Ben Edwards. Alongside me is multiple single-seater race winner Alice Powell. And Alice, with Chloe Chambers having her teammate Alicia Palmowski alongside and title contender Dorian Pan starting third. The run to the first corner could be crucial.
It certainly can be, Ben. Hello, everyone, and happy birthday as well to Chloe Chambers, turning 21 today. But facts you won't want to hear is nobody has actually won from pole this year, would you believe it or not, in F1 Academy. The last person to do so was Abby Pulling in Abu Dhabi in the penultimate race in 2024.
Absolutely. So we shall see whether that's going to happen. It does seem strange that there's no wins from pole so far, but this is the opportunity for Chloe Chambers, and this grid is lined up as they qualified in Miami. So they didn't get to do that race in Miami, but they will now get to do a race here in Montreal based on how they qualified at that previous event. So we shall see how this works, and it will make a bit of a difference to some of the other races we've got here this weekend. So let's take a look at the grid lineup for this first race of 3 here in Montreal, and we shall see how it all goes. And we are now just waiting to see. Right down at the back, we've got the wildcard entry, Mathilde Patz from Germany. Chloe Chong, who ironically will be on pole for one of the races this weekend. She's starting down at the back. Iva Anagnostiadis and Joanne Chiconte are 16th and 15th on the grid. 14th for Nicole Havrida, and Nina Gaveman down in 13th. She's got better pace than that, so we'll see whether she's going to be able to move up the order. Alba Larson down in 12th. She showed good pace in free practice, not so much in qualifying. Courtney Crone is 11th on the grid. Maya Berg, the series leader by 1 point, down in 10th place for this. Tina Hausman is alongside in 9th position. Emma Felbermeyer starting in 8th place, and Ella Lloyd, who got a penalty for that first race in Miami, she starting down in 7th place. Rafaela Ferreira in 6th place, ahead of Aurelia Nobels in 5th place on the grid. This is a good opportunity for her. Leah Block, 4th on the grid. That's a chance for her to get a decent result. Dorian Pan, who's 2nd in the points by just 1 point to Maya Berg, she starts 3rd. Alicia Palmowski is 2nd, but it is Chloe Chambers who starts from pole position. And so we do have the 2 Campos Red Bull teammates on that front row together, but we saw how competitive they were in qualifying yesterday, Alice. They were doing virtually the same lap times until Chloe Chambers suddenly put in one that was just that big margin ahead.
Yeah, she said after qualifying that she knew that was going to be a good lap, and that's what you get as a driver. Sometimes you just do a lap and you say, that has got to be the lap of my life, and it certainly was a solid job for her in qualifying. Huge disappointment though for the Ferrari driver Maya Berg. She had a disaster Friday, did do no laps, completed no lap time set in free practice, and then thought the car was all right for qualifying. The MP Motorsport team changed the engine loom, there we can see on board with her now, and still after 3 laps that problem crept back in. She did go back out just to try and improve and get a lap on the board, but she'll start tomorrow's race, or both, sorry, the race later on and tomorrow in P15. She's P10 for here, but she's going to hope for her that it's all sorted. These problems, they don't actually know if it's sorted. They have changed everything, so we'll keep an eye on her and if that problem is still there or not.
Absolutely, we shall see. In Miami, when qualifying didn't go well for her because of the rain more than anything, because she didn't really get a dry lap, she actually made up a lot of places. She finished 4th from 10th, so we'll see whether she's going to be able to do that. But she's had problems with the car this weekend. Let's hope the team have been able to sort it. So they are out on the formation lap. You're looking at Chloe Chambers, number 14 there, who has the pole position, who has that 21st birthday. And Chloe Chambers, of course, in great shape. Let's hear from her. She spoke to us yesterday.
I'm feeling really excited. Honestly, kind of feeling pretty chill, low stress. I feel pretty confident in this track. I feel like it'll be really exciting to see how the race plays out. I think the field is pretty close, kind of in certain spots, so it'll be definitely a close race. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited to learn from tomorrow to hopefully carry into Sunday a good result and get another win on Sunday.
With 3 pole positions in a row over the last 3 events, Alice, she's actually closed up points because you get 2 points every time you get a pole position. So the gap between her and Dorian Pan, Maya Verg, is actually closer again now, isn't it?
It is. She's only 7 points off the championship lead. Dorian Pan is 1 point off the championship lead. So we've got a great battle in amongst the top 3. We can't rule out Alicia Palmowski as well. She's 4th in the championship, starting alongside her teammate on the front row. And Leah Block, her qualifying in Miami matched her best ever qualifying in her F1 Academy career. She had a bit of a struggle yesterday in qualifying. She ended up down in 9th place, but she'll be looking to move forward, and she has a habit of being able to move forward during races, so she'll be looking to have a little bit of a challenge going down into turn 1. However, when we were looking out on track, it's pretty dusty out there still. The dust seems to have settled again overnight. Drivers doing their final burnouts, so they pull up to their grid slots. And we did see a lot of lockups, a lot of cars going off, even not just in F1 Academy, but in Formula 1 as well. So track temperature much lower than what we saw in free practice 1 and qualifying yesterday. So we'll keep an eye on that one.
Absolutely. So let's have a look and see. Over to the left, you can see Alicia Palmowski. We're looking from the pole position car of Chloe Chambers. Alicia Palmowski with a different livery created by Kirsten McRae of Canada, an emerging female artist. They're using one password, the arrangement with Red Bull that they have. So you're looking at a slightly different look on the number 21 car. There are a couple of other different liveries as well. And right down at the back, we've got the wild card, Mathilde Patz, who's the 17-year-old from Germany, getting her first run in F1 Academy. Of course, she didn't do Miami, so she has to start right at the back for this one, although she was better off than that in qualifying yesterday. Right, we're all set to go for the first race of 3 here in Montreal. Lights out, F1 Academy's underway. It's a good start from Chloe Chambers. Chloe Chambers immediately trying to get ahead of her teammate, Alicia Palmowski, as they come down into the first corner. But there's a lot of side-by-side action going on behind, almost a touch there, but I think they've got away with it. Dorian Pan, he's up into 3rd place. Ella Lloyd, number 20, the orange and black, McLaren back. She's trying to make up some ground because she had a penalty, and she's trying to make the most of it here.
I think there was contact between Nobles. Yeah, it has. She's got a broken front wing, so between her and Dorian Pan, Dorian will be hoping there's no puncture for her on her Pirelli tyres. Ella Lloyd, another good mover as well. Our wildcard driver, Mathilde Patz, she's moved all the way up into the top 15.
That's impressive, isn't it? We'll see how she gets on because, yeah, she started right down at the back. But you're on board now with Ella Lloyd, who's shown some good pace over the course of the weekend so far here. But, of course, starting down in 7th place, but already gaining place. Now attacking Aurelia Nobels, trying to find a way through as they come through the chicane. Up front, though, we've still got a battle going on between the 2 Red Bull-backed teammates, as Chloe Chambers, the pole sitter, is now having to defend quite well from Alicia Palmowski. They come into the hairpin. This is one of the key overtaking opportunities, and Ella Lloyd dives down the inside. Oh, touches with Felbermeyer as well, but I think she's got the place.
She has. Now this is where we're going to see how great the tow is here at this circuit with these F1 Academy cars. Alicia Palmowski on your right hand of screen goes side by side with her Campos and Red Bull teammate. It's going to be who's going to be the bravest on the brakes. We've seen the cars squirm under braking here. A little bit of a lockup from Dorian Pan behind. Does she manage to get it stopped? She does. And Chloe holds on to the place.
That was impressive stuff. They are teammates, but they're still racing. And Alicia Palmowski, the British driver, the 18-year-old from Manchester, is trying to get down the inside of the American Chloe Chambers. Chloe can't hold it there. Oh, no, they make contact, and off goes Palmowski. Palmowski, and there was instant for Chambers. This might allow Dorian Pan on exit. No, she hasn't. I wondered if she was going to be able to snatch the lead, but Palmowski's out. She may be able to rejoin, but lost a lot of paces, and what a shame to see the teammates making contact like that.
Yeah, Alicia was down the inside. It looked like Chloe didn't want to give the place up. We'll have, of course, to see that replay again, but it's a damaged front wing from Chloe Chambers. So disaster, full points. So there is full points for this race, because remember, this is the race 2 that was scheduled to be at Miami that was postponed. Ella Lloyd, she has got a nice gap in front of her to Dorian Pan now. Emma Felbermeyer's under pressure from Leah Block in the Williams-backed car, as we're going to catch a replay very shortly of that incident down at turn 1.
Well, Chloe Chambers is still leading this race. Let's take another look. So it's Chloe Chambers, number 14. The American was on the outside, on the left as we look at it, with Alicia Palmowski coming down the inside, both with the Campos team. They run together, and then there's that little lock-up from Palmowski. Have another look at this, Alice.
So let's have a look. I think that is a lock-up from Alicia, and she's just sailed into the side.
No, honestly, I really couldn't do anything there. I was just holding my line.
I mean, I think it was the lock-up from Palmowski that then put her into the side.
Oh.
Maya Berg, those problems still ongoing for her. That is devastating for our championship leader, and she will, as it stands at the moment, be losing the championship lead.
My goodness, this is such bad news for her. Up front, we still have a battle. Chloe Chambers is still leading, but you said there's a little bit of damage, as you can see, on the front wing. So now she's having to try and defend from Dorian Pan, who is surely going to come championship leader after this. I mean, they are still both battling together to a certain extent. There's only a 6-point gap between them. Maximum points on offer for this race, because this is from the original proper qualifying in Miami, so it'll be 25 points for the win, 18 points for second. But that front wing, do you think she's going to be able to continue like this?
I mean, you can see there isn't much veins on that front wing of the F1 Academy car, but she will be losing front downforce, and we saw how fast she was yesterday and how much understeer she had on the exit there of turn 7, and she's under a lot of pressure from Dorian Pan now. Pulls over to defend, and she's not going to defend very hard. She's going to let her go down the inside into turn 8. Door opens nicely for Pan, and she takes the lead.
Dorian Pan up in front once again, and this is going to be a huge opportunity for her to take the lead in the championship. She's an experienced F1 Academy racer. She was very successful last year as well, but now Chloe Chambers goes for a late move down the inside into the hairpin. That was brave, but it didn't really work because she locked up too much and the place has gone back again.
Yeah, she was, when she pulled out there, I thought, nope, she is going to go for it. But look, this is bringing Ella Lloyd into play, who's just at the fastest first sector of anybody, and she's much faster in that middle sector, of these two in front. Dorian's been made to defend, but it should be easily done for her. She should be able to keep that place. Chloe Chambers gets the car stopped, but I wonder how long will it possibly be that the race director thinks that front wing is probably a bit too dangerous on Chloe Chambers' car, but it's not stopping her from having a go.
This is brave, as you say. She's having a look around the outside into the first corner, and she's actually got a chance, but now Dorian Pan's being sensible, giving her space, but has got the good exit. Now down towards the chicane at turns 3 and 4. Is there a chance to get that line? There is a chance. My goodness, Chloe Chambers really going for it.
What a move by Chloe Chambers. Damaged front wing, around the outside, no problem, and she's really giving it to Dorian Pan. I thought when Dorian got past last lap, that was it. Chloe was going to say, I've got the damage, I'm going to concede the place, and you could just see how much she's struggling. But Ella Lloyd is right on the back of this battle now, Ben.
Yeah, and that was an error from Chambers. She's made a mistake, and that has allowed Ella Lloyd to come through. That front wing's coming off completely. I don't know if she clipped that curb again, but that has damaged the front wing even more. Surely they will have to bring her in now, unless it falls off and flies away from everybody else. So Dorian Pan, with Mercedes backing, is now leading in the number 28 car. Number 20, Ella Lloyd, British driver, she is in the McLaren back car and in second place. This is a good performance, and Chloe Chambers missing out again, and Chambers is being told she's got to come in the pits.
She has. So black and orange flag, that means mechanical flag, so that means she will have 3 laps to come into the pits, otherwise that will be a black flag. But she might as well come in now. Let's hear from Chloe.
No, the car's...
Yeah, we'll have to box this lap.
I mean, yes, that's one way of putting it. But Ella Lloyd is right up on the back, and there she goes into the pits. But what a turn of events at the front. We've got Pan leading now. Ella Lloyd and Emma Felbermeyer, they'll move up a place from Chambers going to the pits. So it's 2 Rodeo Motorsport cars in the top 3.
Absolutely right, but this is bitterly disappointing for the girl celebrating her 21st birthday, starting from pole position and fighting hard, but it hasn't worked well, and now they've got to change that front nose cone, front wing, and send her back out, hopefully. And of course, she will be on pole for race 3 later this weekend. Let's just have a look at how that start went again.
So great start there. You can see from the Tommy Hilfiger car of Alba Larsen. And then Maya Berg was not able to get away very well at all. So I think instantly issues for her. We saw a lock up, and you could just see that damaged front wing of the Puma Nobles car. Ella Lloyd, a great move as well. Not a great start from Leah Block, but everyone keeping it nice and clean, riding on board with Maya Berg. And that just doesn't sound right to me. That is not firing how it should.
No, there is definitely still a technical problem with Maya Berg's car. They've worked on it so hard over this weekend, but they still have not been able to work out. They've changed everything electrical, as you said, but it's just not running right. You can see from that slowness coming away. Her hand is just like, what's going on? This is the incident, of course, between Chloe Chambers and Alicia Palmowski, where Alicia goes down the inside, but then brakes very late into the first corner, does lock up, and Chloe Chambers just has no space, really. So this was a little bit of a brave attempt. Just didn't work out.
That was a lock-up from Alicia. Chloe gave her enough room on that inside there, and then it was actually the oversteer from Alicia that then sent her into the side of Chloe, and then that damaged Chloe's front wing, and Dorian was thinking, oh, yes, thank you. And it opened up for her to sail on through, but Emma Felbermeyer doing a very good job. Dorian Pan's just set the fastest lap of the race. That's 4/10 faster than Ella Lloyd. She's opened that gap now to just over 1 second. Remember, these cars don't have DRS, so there's no drag reduction system on these F1 Academy cars, no push to pass or anything like that. So it's just down to driver skill, trying to tuck into that toe, and Alba Larsen's just made her way up into the top 8.
That's good news, but as you say, Emma Felbermeyer is doing a really good job. So is the wild card. Yes, you just pointed out there that Matilda Patz, she's up in 10th place. That's very good. But yeah, for Felbermeyer, who is running in 3rd place, you can just see they're 1, 2, and in 3rd place, the green colours, the Sauber backing. She's doing a great job, because she's not had a result anywhere near this good so far this year. Maya Berg back in the pits once again. It's worth keep running and keep sending her out to see if they can find a solution, but it's been so difficult this weekend so far for them.
It has, and you really, really have to feel for her, because it is totally out of her control. It's not like any mistake that she's made. It is purely something isn't quite happy with that car, as Nina Gaben now is right in the toe of the Kick Sauber of Emma Felbermeyer. She's going to have a little look, try and put Emma off down that back straight into 13, hit your braking point, which she does nicely, clips that curve, then the next one at 14. You can see a wobble from the Alpine backed driver of Gaben, but nice stuff. And Dorian, another fastest lap for her.
Absolutely. So Dorian Pan, the race leader from Ella Lloyd, but this is the battle that we're watching on board from 3rd place. Emma Felbermeyer, Nina Gateman chasing. Nina Gateman hasn't had the sort of result she would have loved earlier in the year when she was leading a race until almost towards the end. She's had a best finish of 5th place so far, but she's challenging for a potential podium here. We've just seen someone drop down a bit. Alba Larsen. Oh, no, okay, Larsen hasn't. There was just a slight change there. So Alba Larsen actually up into 8th place, so she's made some ground from where she started, so that's a decent effort. Leah Block currently in 5th place in the Williams-coloured car, supported by Williams. She did start 4th, so she's lost 1 place, but she's still very much in the mix there.
She is. Nina Gaiman's under investigation for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. That's down at turn 13. We saw plenty of drivers do that yesterday, not only in F1 Academy, but in the Formula One as well. So a solid first sector from Ella Lloyd and a solid middle sector from her as well. So she's closing slightly down that gap to Dorian Pan at the front, and Maya Berg is back in yet again.
Oh my goodness, it's still not working for Maya Berg. This car is still not running properly, and they can't seem to solve it. And this could be the total end this weekend of her challenge for the championship, because she was leading it coming into this event by the 1 point. She's clearly not going to score any in this race. Can they get the car sorted for 2 more races this weekend? It's going to be tough, because they're just not finding any answers at this stage. 10 laps to go. Dorian Pin, who will take over the lead in the championship, courtesy of her performance so far. Ella Lloyd doing a great job in second place. She has had 1 win so far this year, Ella Lloyd, in Jeddah, the first race in Jeddah. As also we're watching Alicia Palmowski trying to make up for that mistake she made earlier on. She may get back into the points. She's currently running in 10th place and putting Chloe Chong under some pressure. And Chloe Chong will be on pole position for the reverse grid race later today. Just to remind you, the top 8 from qualifying are put in reverse order. So if you were 8th in qualifying, you get pole for that race, and that's exactly what will happen for Chloe Chong, the car in front of these two.
You're at least 2/10 faster per lap than Felbenmeyer. There's going to be 10 laps to go, so pick her off when you get the chance.
Copy.
That's in the battle for podium position. But what do you think about Alicia Palmowski here? What can she do here?
She's driving with anger, it seems. Fastest driver out on circuit at the moment. She's caught up to the back of Chloe Chong. Clearly no real damage to her car. Could potentially be a tiny bit. It was a heavy hit with the side of Chloe Chambers' car, but she's going to set Chloe Chong up, quite a few Chloes, for the run down into turn 13, but she's made her way back up nicely now into the points. She'll be hoping to grab a few more with still plenty of racing laps remaining in this race.
And you're seeing a new livery of a car behind as well. That is the wildcard entry. And as we're just seeing, here can Palmowski do anything, but Matilda Patz behind them, not far behind, so she might be able to join in, the 17-year-old German, with that new livery of Gatorade, and now they've become an official partner of the F1 Academy Series, as Chiconte making a move down the inside, and yes, has done that, but Palmowski now also trying to take that position around the outside. Got to be cautious, that's where it went wrong for her earlier, but she's doing this well on the inside though. Chloe Chong's doing good defensive, so I'm not quite sure this is going to change.
She braved it back down the inside of another Chloe this time, down into turn 1. No contact this time, nearly braved it down the outside of turn 2. Good stuff, giving them racing room, and this is actually bringing, you can see in the background, our wildcard driver of Pat's in the Gatorade car that you just mentioned, Ben, into this battle for the final points-paying position in this race. So we'll keep an eye on that, but it's really opened up, and the gap is opening up as well for the battle for the lead, but it's continuing to stay fairly close for the final points-paying position.
Big wide entry there for Palmowski, trying to get the exit. There, this is where you get the toe down towards the hairpin. This is an opportunity as they come down towards the hairpin. Just have a look and see in the background whether that can be done. They are side by side. Alicia Palmowski trying to go right round the outside, but also, as you say, joining in Matilda Patz. The wildcard entry is right there, so it's now a 3-way battle. She's doing a great job. This could be one of the best results for a wildcard entry so far this year. Wildcard means you just get the one round where you get the various races that are on over the weekend, but an opportunity maybe to show what you can do to get a full gig the following year. And she is joining into that. Palmowski now going for that late break, but she's got to be cautious. Does okay.
She does. So Alicia's now got the tough part of not only trying to attack to improve her position, but also looking in the mirrors to defend. Matilda Pat's doing a great job. Like you said, she's being able to showcase and possibly put her name in the ring for a spot on the grid for next year. Carbon copy of what we saw a lap or so ago. Alicia not quite able to hang it round the outside, so really nice defensive stuff from Chloe Chong.
Two British drivers really going for it here, Alicia Palmowski and Chloe Chong, and I have to say Chong's doing a great defensive work, and I was a bit worried when Palmowski hit that curve again. I thought she was going to bounce a bit too wide, but actually it worked all right this time. That's sort of what kicked her last time when she was trying to take the lead earlier on from Chloe Chambers. Hitting the curve bounced her out too far, but she is definitely under pressure from Matilda Patz. Let's see how this goes.
She's going to bring Courtney Crowe in the Haas car. You can just see in the background there as well. They're really slowing themselves down. They've lost over 1.5 seconds in lap time from battling. So those further up the field, Houseman and Larson will take a sigh of release. They won't be able to. They won't have a risk of having any battles. But a lunge down the inside from Alicia Palmowski gets it stopped, get it rotated, and then that allows Matilda Pats to have a little look at Chloe Chong as well.
That was a lovely move because she waited till the last moment when Chloe Chong thought, I've got my line, but actually she dived down the inside. Perfect timing, but Chloe Chong's coming back now that she's got the slipstream. It really is showing. As you mentioned, they don't have DRS, but the slipstream does help you down this back straight, so they're going to be side by... Oh, no, she's got it, but as long as... Oh, no, she braked too late. That's why she's going to have to give that place up. Oh, and make contact. That's Matilda Pats, the wildcard entry. She's slammed into that. Oh, what a shame. The Wall of Champions has taken many cars out here over the years. Oh, and we've got yellow flag. I would imagine we're going to have safety car as well.
We are going to have a safety car. That car won't be able to drive at all, but Wall of Champions has had its victim, the first victim in F1 Academy at least, and that has just, Ella Lloyd had just set the fastest first sector of anybody in the race. Looked like she was picking up the pace, and Emma Felbermeyer was as well, but no doubt we'll be seeing a safety car that's going to bunch the entire field up. And also one thing to note about, there we go, safety car out, is none of Gaidman, Felbermeyer or Block have actually finished on the podium in an F1 Academy race. So that final podium position is going to be a pretty big one for each one of those drivers that's in that battle.
That's a very good point, but I do feel very much for the wildcard entry, Matilda Pats. Let's have a look at this, because she could see what was going up ahead. Chloe Chong locked up late. What does she do? Oh, she hits the curb, doesn't she?
Yeah, she hits the sausage curb on the inside, pops the front of that car up, and then at that point, you're then a passenger. You can just sit there, pop into the wall, and a lot of damage sustained on the Gatorade high-tech ran car. But she was doing a fantastic job.
She was.
First race in F1 Academy this weekend. New circuit, of course, for her, as is for all the other drivers.
I'm so sorry.
I can understand for her. That was a tough one, because, as you say, she'd been doing such a good job, but unfortunately that has gone wrong. Susie Wolf, keeping an eye. She runs the F1 Academy, of course, and she'll be keen to see that they are being asked to come through the pit lane. Actually, that makes sense, because it's in an area where they want to get the car out of the way. The safe way to do that is to make the race cars go through the pit lane and then rejoin. They will be continuing, they're not stopping in the pit lane, but that is a sensible move, just to make sure that they can continue and sort the car out as quickly as possible. So, yeah, the Wall of Champions, I'm afraid, that part of the track that became named after that in 1999, when a bunch of top drivers did crash into that. Damon Hill was first, Michael Schumacher, then Jacques Villeneuve crashed into it during the race within 20 laps of each other, and that's when they gave it that name. It's been hit, of course, by various other drivers over the years, and it's still a famous place, but I do feel for her, because it was very much clipping that curve. But she didn't try and go too fast through there. She just got the line slightly wrong, didn't she?
She has. She's not yet got out of the car. Sorry. She's waiting for the signal from the marshals to hop out. But Dorian Pan's lead has been shrank now totally, as well as allowing Alicia Palmowski back into the mix. We mentioned, didn't we, that the gap between her and Houseman was, I'm pretty sure it was over 6 seconds. But that is going to have shrunk right down. We should get some racing laps. The marshal's doing a great job, as always, as there's cleaning not only the car, but there was a lot of debris that was sprayed across the track, hence why, of course, these cars are going through the pit lane.
Just to remind you, this is a full race in terms of points, so there will be 25 points in theory for Dorian Pan. She stays up front. Ella Lloyd in second place, that'll be 18 points, of course, same as Formula One points. Felbermeyer in third at the moment, but as you were saying, that could easily be a big change with all these cars together. When we get the race underway again, we may see a change, particularly for the podium finishes, and we'll see how that goes in a little while. Chloe Chambers has set the fastest lap with that new front wing on the car, but actually in terms of getting the point, you've got to be to get the point, you've got to be in the top 10 to get the point for fastest lap, and of course she's down in 16th place, and the safety car will help her in that respect, because she will have a chance to do plenty of overtaking, won't she?
She will. It's going to. It depends how much time she's got left to do it. You can see the.
She's only just getting out the car.
So she was waiting for the extraction team to come along. She's asking for the steering wheel to be put back on. So I think she is all okay. So good etiquette from her, putting the wheel back on, but she's all right up out of the car. Here's another replay, so you can see turns into 13 nicely, then 14 a little bit too greedy with that inside curve, and it just bottoms out and flies, and then at that point she knows, yeah, I'm heading straight into the wall. So it'll be a busy afternoon, or morning into afternoon for high-tech GP.
Yeah.
A lot of work for them to do.
And until you've done that on a curve in a car like this, you probably wouldn't know exactly how it would respond, but it was just too much of a bang. It flicked it out wide, and it smashed that front right and rear right wheels, the suspension, into the barriers. Thankfully, everybody else was able to avoid her. That was Courtney Crone, who came past her straight after that, and thumbs up to say that she was feeling fine. She will have 2 more races to do, and actually she did a reasonable job in qualifying, bearing in mind she's wildcard. She won't be starting right at the back for the other 2 races, as she did today, because this was based on qualifying in Miami, which she didn't do, of course. But you do wonder if she carries on like this, if they get the car repaired for races 2 and 3, she might be impressive and might get a chance to do F1 Academy next year. You're only allowed to do it for 2 years as a driver, aren't you?
Yes, you are. So
full years, that is.
Yeah, 2 full years. So final year, the champion has to move on. So Marta Garcia was our first champion in 2023. Avi Pulling was our champion last year. Both of those drivers had to move on, even if they'd done 2 years or not. So Doriane, if she wins or not the championship this year, this will be her final year in F1 Academy, along with the likes of Leah Block, Tina Hausman, Chloe Chong, because she did the first year in 2023. And then a little bit further down as well, Chloe Chambers and Maya Berg, Oriel Nobles as well. So quite a few spots up for grabs in F1 Academy for next year. There are plenty of racing still left to come.
It's funny, isn't it, with Doriane Pam? I mean, she's doing a great job this year, clearly. We're on the same weekend as Le Mans, and a couple of years ago she actually made her debut at Le Mans, didn't she? So, but now she's very much into single-seaters and trying and take this championship if possible.
She is, and she's done a great job of transitioning over from a GT car. She's done it the hard way, coming over from a GT car to single-seaters. Mark Webber was someone, the most famous one I can think of doing that. It's a much easier to transition from single-seaters to GTs, but she's doing obviously a fantastic job, and you can learn more about some of these drivers on the grid in the Netflix documentary, of course, F1 The Academy, that is now streaming on Netflix.
So Maya Berg, the car is still being worked on. They're still trying to find out what the problem with it is. They've done so much on it over the course of the weekend already. Can they find what is happening that she is just not able to get decent speed? And as Susie Wolf's down there talking to the team, hoping that they can obviously find an answer. We do have the safety car coming in at the end of this lap. We're on lap 14, so we'll be going on to lap 15 out of 17 with some racing to come. It could be a very exciting time because they will be very close together, obviously, and how you do the restart will be important. I think Doriane Pan does have that experience, but Ella Lloyd is quite a competitive racer herself. She'll go for it if she gets a chance.
She is. She knows how to move forward, and she's done a great job here, starting in 7th place, moved away further up the order as Jess Hawkins, ambassador for Aston Martin, and also helping out Tina Hausman as well, who's currently in P8, watches on from the pit wall. So drivers continuing to keep up their tyre temperatures. Track temperature has gone up, actually. It started at 22 degrees, it's now at 27. Air temperatures kind of stayed fairly similar, but you can see Doriane's really slowed the pack down. So we're coming out of turn 10. This kink that they're going through, whether you're going to call it a corner or not, but on the official track map, that is turn 11. And then another kink down this back straight is turn 12. And there'll be no weaving. So in the race director's notes, no weaving at the entrance of turn 13. 13, which is our penultimate corner on this racetrack.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But it's sensible not to go too soon, because otherwise she'd be giving a tow to them all the way down the straight. So I think this makes sense to me, that she's just got to wait for the moment, and then just when they get a bit nearer the chicane, which is fairly soon, I think she'll go for it. Let's just see what she does here. Ella Lloyd right behind. That's the power on. She's going for it now, isn't she?
Yeah, Ella Lloyd's got caught napping there. You can see she's had a good entry, though, into turn 13, but lovely stuff, and a lot of debris still being kicked up on the exit there of 14, but a nice job by Dorian Pan.
That was excellent. That was really well played by her. Ella Lloyd in second place, under pressure from Emma Felbermeyer. Nina Gaidman, they're running a little bit deep into the first corner, but has held it reasonably well. Leah Block still behind with the Williams backing. She's in 5th place overall. Rafaela Ferreira not far behind with the Racing Bulls car, but no big changes. I'm surprised. I thought we might see a few more changes on that run down into the first corner, but everybody actually holding on extremely well, and Dorian Pan is pulling away from Ella Lloyd at this stage.
The Rodent Motorsport duo there of Ella Lloyd and Emma Felbermeyer, they are actually setting decent lap times as we've got some battles going on in the background. That was just before the safety car, but you can see Alba Larson and the Tommy Hilfiger, we're just going to catch them there fighting. Rafaela Ferreira is going to have a lock-up. She's going to sail on, have to take to the escape road route, so that's going to drop her down, rejoin safely.
She's made contact as well, and she's come back out. What a shame. Oh, it's Chloe Chong. Chloe Chong, who's been involved in all sorts of incidents this year, sometimes her fault, sometimes other people's. And there's another incident as well. My goodness, what is going on? That's Joanne Chiconte who's made contact on the way down into the hairpin.
And Emma Felbermeyer now is up alongside and kicks a bump on that main straight. We've got a safety car already being shown, so these drivers are going to have to back off even before they get into the final corner. But
this might be it, because whether they're going to go racing again, this may end up being the final order, mightn't it?
I think it will be. I mean, disaster, you can see, and that is really unfortunate for Chloe Chong in the Charlotte Tilbury car. She had nowhere else to go, and that was a very unsafe rejoin from Rafaela Ferreira.
I agree, and I do feel for Chloe Chong, and she will be, in theory, on pole position for the second race today. But will the team get that car repaired? I know we've got a few hours, but there's a lot of work to be done. There is a lot of work to be done, and the Weller Professionals car, their new colours this weekend for Joanne Giaconte's got a damaged front wing with that contact with Courtney Crone. So she'll sail on round. So let's have a little look. So Rafaela there had a lock-up, went straight on, had to take through the cut-through, but I think she was just so desperate to rejoin, and it's dusty. So when she come back onto the track, you can see the car kicking up the dust. She's going to get a kick of oversteer, and then she's going to slide straight into the path of Chloe Chong, who had nowhere to go. A lot of damage on the side of Chloe's car. You can see the radiator sticking up there, as well as one of the side pods. And then further back, then that set off a chain reaction. Everyone had to back out of it. Here's Chloe Chong.
Mate, what a idiot.
Yeah, and then you're right, it did set up this incident, didn't it, Joanne Chiconte and Courtney Crone making contact down into the hairpin.
Chloe Chambers as well doing a good job, so you can just see avoiding it all.
My goodness.
They all had to back up and check up, essentially, from that incident with Chloe Chong. And then, of course, they were all battling. It's kind of the dying stages of the race, fighting for position, or do just a little bit too keen going down into turn 10. But I think then, I agree with you, this is probably going to be it. And there we go, the black and orange mechanical flag for car 25 of Giaconte, so she's going to have to come into the pits to get that front wing changed.
Absolutely, so it hasn't worked out well for Joanne Giaconte. She's the youngest, the 16-year-old, but as the other 16-year-old in this has done well. Alba Larson, only 2 days older, she has done a good job. She's in 6th place, despite having qualified outside the top 10 for this race. So she's shown good pace here. It didn't quite work for her in qualifying. I don't quite know why. We think it might have been that they didn't use the tyres quite correctly, because she had shown good pace before that. But Alba Larson in 6th place, looks as though that's where she's going to have the finish. Coming into the pits then, Joanne Giaconte after that contact was made. This is a new livery as well, by the way, on her car. So that is, but it's just not been a good day for her, I'm afraid.
It hasn't. It's final lap now, so this will be the finishing order for these drivers. It's going to be another win for Dorian Pan, and she's going to sail into the lead of the championship. She's just kept out of trouble. She hasn't set the fastest lap of the race, so won't get that extra point for fastest lap. But and you can see in the team viewer box there, Molly Carlson, the Canadian professional high diver, will be waving the checkered flag.
Rafaela Ferreira out of her car after making that contact with Chloe Chong. She will be feeling bad about that, I'm sure. But you can understand in a way why she was just desperate to get back on the grid, onto the track as quickly as possible, having gone wide. But to do it at that speed, as you said, on a slippery surface, it slammed her into Chloe Chong, and that's put her out as well. So some of our very competitive drivers have not been able to deliver a decent result here. Remember, the top 10 all scoring points, but Ferreira has obviously dropped out of that, so it will mean that Anak Nostiadis will score points today. She'll finish in 10th place, and that actually will be her first, well, actually her second points, I think, of her season so far. She did get an 8th place finish right at the start of the season, but that will give her a little bit of a boost, there's no doubt about it. Palmovsky, of course, having that incident earlier on, she's been able to score some points by finishing in 8th place. But it is very much, as you said, about Dorian Pan and how the French girl is going to be leading the championship as they go across the checker flag from Maya Berg, who wasn't able to do anything valuable with the problems with her car.
No, she's going to drop down in the championship, and just hope for her. It sounds like MP have changed everything, but Dorian Pan did what she needed to do, kept out of trouble, held that lead comfortably, a great restart, and she'll come across the line to take the win, first win of the weekend here in Montreal.
Dorian Pan takes the checker flag. It's her third win of the 2025 season. She had 3 wins in 2024. She is now the championship leader. There are 2 more races still to go in the races here in Montreal. So if she's got this sort of pace, she's got a real chance of going further and further ahead. Ella Lloyd, an excellent second place for Ella Lloyd. And Emma Felbermeyer, a good result for her. That is her first podium. Emma Felbermeyer in her first full season, as is Ella Lloyd. Lloyd had already had a win in one of the reverse grid races. Nice to see Lewis Hamilton keeping an eye on what's going on.
Yeah, he's a big supporter of this championship, has always been since its very started. And he'll be down, of course, I'm sure, to congratulate the girls. But the championship lead changes for the 3rd time again this season.
Yes, good point. Thank you. It was a good race overall. Smart.
Good job, mate. That's a Miami win at Montreal. Nice.
That's very nice, yes. Amazing track and amazing atmosphere as always.
Great stuff from Dorian Pan. And so she reclaims the lead in the championship that she lost in Jeddah. Her 6th career win. Ella Lloyd getting her 2nd career podium, and Felbermeyer getting her 1st podium. And for Rodin Motorsport, of course, it's gone really well, Alice, because the 2 cars there, number 20, number 5, they're both Rodin Motorsport, so they've got 2 podiums.
First time they're getting a double podium, which is nice for them. And of course, a first podium, like you said, for Emma Felbermeyer, so she'll be very pleased with that. Those Rodin Motorsport drivers looked pretty fast, but couldn't take anything in these dying stages of the race, or the green flag racing that we had to Dorian Pan. So really solid effort by our top 3.
Check a flag, P3, mate. Well done, well done.
Okay, thank you so much.
Emma from Austria, the 18-year-old, doing, as I say, her first full season with Rodin. She's been karting since she was around 7 years old, got into international karting at around 13 years old, but she hasn't done a lot of single-seater racing until now. I mean, really, this is her first proper season of single-seater racing, and but good family history. And in fact, funnily enough, although they're not doing a 24-hour race, they're doing a support race at Le Mans, family, brother and father, racing at Le Mans this year in one of the support races. So yeah, it's all fun. They'll be very happy to know that she's got the podium here today.
A very busy weekend for them.
Yeah.
That, isn't it? Lots of racing for them to watch, but I'm sure they be watching back in Le Mans and cheering on Emma, of course, as drivers make their way down into the pit lane. The top 3 will pull up and park just outside the podium. We saw Joan de Conte's car there in the background, who didn't go back out to take the checkered flag, as Dorian Plant, the pocket rocket, she's also known by, pulls up into the P1 spot.
Yeah, and we're getting quite used to her coming out on top. She's not always the fastest qualifier, but she's a very good racer, and she knows where to be at the right time. She's cautious when things go tricky for everybody else, but Dorian Plant has taken victory here, the first of 3 races in Montreal this weekend. Chloe Chambers, who had pole position, was involved in an incident with her teammate Alicia Palmowski. Chloe Chambers did end up finishing in 9th position, and it's nice to see Lewis Hamilton congratulating her as well. Dorian Plant, backed by Mercedes as she is now, even though Lewis is of course a Ferrari man these days. But yeah, the fact that Chambers finished in 9th does mean she will get the point for fastest lap in that race. She managed to get up into the top 10, as we mentioned. You have to do that to get the point for fastest lap, but yeah, Chloe Chambers did do that, and Chloe will be on pole for race 3 on Sunday. She'll be down in 8th place on the reverse grid for the 2nd race later on today.
Big celebrations, Lewis making sure to congratulate all the top 3, which is very nice to see. We saw Jonathan Wheatley down there as well from the Kick Sauber team. A big audience of McLaren there to support their driver, Ella Lloyd, finishing P2. Yeah,
that's lovely for Ella Lloyd, and she's been showing some great abilities. It didn't quite work out for her in Miami. She had a non-finish after an accident early in the race, and that sort of penalised her grid position for this race, actually down to 7th. But with that, she still came through to finish in 2nd. So that's very impressive what she's done, and we'll be keeping an eye on her, obviously, over the course of the weekend, because she qualified better for the 2nd race. There you are, the guys that you were talking about. They're very congratulating these young women drivers who are trying to prove what they can do. And of course, the great thing about F1 Academy is it gives those opportunities for people to show what they can do at a good level on some great tracks, and make contact with some really important people in the motor racing world, and hopefully can build a career from here.
Exactly, it can. And you can see Carrie Schreiner's down there as well, giving advice, and congratulations to Emma Felbermeyer. So they'll head through up to the podium. Ella Lloyd, she was down there just chatting to her engineer Zimba, who was Abby Pulling's engineer last year in Road and Motorsport. So really great to see a big crowd supporting these drivers, and it's early here in Montreal, nearly 10 o'clock if you count that as being early. I think I do on a weekend. As this is the moment that Dorian Plant took the checkered flag, and you can see, I was just about to say, a nice crowd building up around the circuit as well.
Yeah, so good timing. It's still early day really in Canada, coming up for 10 a.m. But yeah, lovely to see that celebration. By the way, those that didn't quite make the podium, we had Nina Gaidman in 4th place, taking her 5th consecutive points finish. So Nina Gaidman has been putting together some good results. Leah Block got a decent result this time as well, in 5th place. Scoring 10 points in this race, and she's only scored 2 points before that so far this year. And Alba Larson, who did that great job as well, moving up through the order, and has actually now scored in 5 of the last 6 races, and she's done well. She's the highest driver in the championship without yet a podium finish, so maybe that's something that Alba can do. Let's listen in.
It was like the first half, and then everyone crashed.
Yeah.
Campbell.
It was so close when we went to the last corner with Nobles. Yeah.
All right,
It was
yeah.
Nobles.
Mm.
What happened though?
It was way
too
too aggressive. Oh, make me. She has the front wing damage, yeah. And then
On when?
with the contact with Alicia.
Okay.
Oh, hello?
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
That
but
was Matilda.
this car is pretty sketchy.
Oh.
It's pretty sketchy, yeah.
Oh, there was no grip at all. Oh man.
The clubs are very aggressive here.
There's a lot for them to watch because, of course, they hadn't seen quite a lot of those incidents because they were still, when you're racing, you're so focused on exactly where you are and you can't keep an eye on everything else. So they were actually fascinated in watching what else was happening.
Right, exactly. They're too busy concentrating on their own race. It's always loved to listen into the cool down room there from the drivers. But interesting, Dorian said about the two Red Bull drivers, just a bit too aggressive with each other. I'm sure that they're both going to have a sit down, is Chloe and Alicia, by the Campos team, because that's big points for them to drop. But Dorian won't mind. She takes the lead of the championship, leading, believe it or not, from Maya Berg still, who didn't finish this race, by 24 points.
Gosh, 24 points when it was a 1 point difference before the start of that race with Maya Berg leading, and now it's a 24-point lead for Dorian Pan. So Maya Berg is still in second place with that gap, and Chloe Chambers, who it's hurt her a lot because she's still in third place. She's 6 points behind Maya Berg. She's 30 points now behind Dorian Pan when she started from pole on her 21st birthday. I'm sorry for her, it hasn't worked out today. Maybe it'll go better for her later. Emma Felbermeyer, though, an excellent third place, celebrating a tremendous result. Second place going to Ella Lloyd, backed up by McLaren. And as you say, lots of McLaren team down there to congratulate her. But the victory, the third win of the year, the sixth win of her career in F1 Academy. The victory goes to the French girl, Dorian Pan, who has delivered superbly well, backed by Mercedes. Understandably, Dorian Pan looking very, very happy with the way it's gone in this first of three races in Montreal this weekend, as it's warming up beautifully as well. Track temperatures suddenly climbing more and more. It'll be a slightly different track later when they're out for the second race on their reverse grid. She still will be in a good position in qualifying to be battling potentially up there. Ella Lloyd happy with her second position, having had one win in one of the reverse grid races, but that's a great podium in one of the full qualifying races with the maximum points. And Emma Felbermeyer delighted with that third place and fully deserved. So many congratulations to our first podium sitters of the three races here in Montreal. It's going to be a fascinating weekend, and we've got plenty more good racing to go.
We have later on today, we promise we won't make it too more confusing. It's going to be the reverse grid race from qualifying that took place yesterday. So that will be Chloe Chong, who will be starting on pole position, and you can catch that at 14:50 local time today.
Absolutely, yeah, and it will be, as we say, Chloe Chong on pole. Nina Gateman will be second, and Emma Felbermeyer, who's third there, she will actually start in third position. Dorian Pan will start in sixth place, having taken the victory here, but Alicia Palmowski and Chloe Chambers, who it all went a bit wrong because of the contact between them, they will be starting seventh and eighth, but they are both obviously very quick around this track, so that could also change the order of things. And just bear in mind that we did see Rafaela Ferreira have an incident. We saw a bit of damage done to Chloe Chong's car, and I do hope that that can be fully repaired for the race later coming on. Let's take a look then at the full result of this first race in Montreal. Dorian Pan taking the victory comfortably in the end by that margin under safety car from Ella Lloyd. So the gap was not very big, but she had that dominant force. Ella Lloyd in second, Emma Felbermeyer in third, Nina Gateman in fourth place ahead of Leah Block, Alba Larsen a good sixth place ahead of Tina Hausman. Alicia Palmowski ended up in eighth place ahead of her teammate Chloe Chambers. Ironically, they'd been on the front row together. And Eva Anagnostiadis finished in 10th in the Tag Heuer supported machine. Aurelia Nobles was 11th ahead of Nicole Havredo. Courtney Crone down in 13th place. Incident involved Rafaela Ferreira, Joanne Conti also in an incident. And out of the race, Chloe Chong, Matilda Patz, and unfortunately the former leader, Maya Berg. So that is the first result of the season. And as you said, we've got the race coming on later on this afternoon. We've also got the third race, which will be under full qualifying order on Sunday as well. It has been tremendous. We've got more to come. Thank you for joining us. Back with F1 Academy later on today. Bye-bye for now.
Également quelques problèmes techniques pour Maya Berg. Elle a eu des problèmes techniques au courant de la fin de semaine. Ce serait intéressant de voir si elle sera en mesure de revenir pour la